when your jaws start breaking, people start chasing you out of this uni, none of you will like it. Watch your mouth, because you don't know who you're talking to sometimes.
Jail time, baby mamas, and more. We're going over 10 things you didn't know about Anthony Joshua. Before we get into the video, make sure you subscribed to keep up to date with all of our latest boxing videos. Also, make sure to leave a comment on who we should make a top 10 on next. Everyone knows AJ started boxing pretty late in life. He apparently started when he was 18 years old, but a lot of people didn't know that before he started boxing, AJ was a wannabe roadman and drug dealer and was actually arrested multiple times. In an interview by Donald McRae from The Guardian, Joshua describes some of his past crimes. AJ says, "Another court case actually got me into boxing. I was facing a long sentence, and when I beat that, I decided to start boxing." McRae asks, was this earlier case also cannabis related? To which Joshua replies, "It was fighting and other crazy stuff. I was actually on remand. When you're in jail waiting for your sentence, there are idiots inside, and this is when you realize you're dealing with in prison. I was on remand in Reading for 2 weeks. Once you're there, it's 50-50 because you've been found guilty. So I was preparing myself for the worst. It could have been 10 years. I could have been there until I was 28 because I was 18 at the time. So I would have still been there right now." AJ's well-known conviction, the cannabis one which McRae was referring to, was an incident when he was pulled over for speeding in his Mercedes, and police subsequently found weed in the car. This led to an arrest and a conviction in which he pled guilty and did not serve serious jail time. But judging off AJ's response to this, there were clearly multiple incidents in which he was involved in run-ins with the law, and there must be many more cases that were just not publicized or available online. The second thing on this list is AJ's ex-girlfriend and baby mama Nicole Osborne. AJ is usually very private with his personal life, and most people are unaware of his romantic relationships and whether he has any children. Nicole Osborne, the woman in question, is described as a dancer and yoga instructor. Now, I'm not saying she's a stripper, but often strippers do describe themselves in a very similar manner. There's also the strange Nigerian blog article claiming that exact thing and condemning his relationship with her. I don't believe AJ was with her for very long and left her many years ago. A very overlooked and swept under the rug event has been AJ's reluctance to leave the dressing room prior to some of his fights. Before his first fight with Ruiz, many claim that AJ had a panic attack prior to his walkout, citing this as a big reason to why he lost. Now, there's not overwhelming evidence to back up this theory, but if you've watched the AJ fights recently, you would have definitely noticed this trend that he takes forever to go from the dressing room to the ring. And when he fought Jermaine Franklin, the media were locked out of his dressing room, so you have no idea what was going on in there. And bizarrely, he appeared sometime afterwards with blood smeared all over his white warm-up tank top. Now this is very bizarre because, you're supposed to just be hitting pads and warming up in there. Definitely no reason for your nose to be bleeding and leaking on you. This is extremely strange and just furthers the theory that there's something weird going on with AJ before it's his turn to enter the ring. A few years ago, when AJ was still training at Loughborough University, he was heckled and abused from a distance by drunk students from the safety of one of their apartments. Now, this did get a bit of attention during the time, but I haven't heard much of it recently. Most public figures are used to public criticism and early on develop very thick skin, but not AJ. He seems to get very triggered about public criticism and seems very sensitive. AJ actually ends up going after these students, somehow entering their apartment and confronting them about what they said. You can hear him in this clip threatening to crack their glass jaws.
Remember you're running them up, because when I bring people up here and I start cracking your glass jaws, none of you will like it. When your jaws start breaking, people start chasing you out of this uni, none of you will like it. Watch your mouth, because you don't know who you're talking to sometimes. I know, listen, all that public eye bullshit, I ain't into all that.
Number 5 on the list is AJ's loss to Dillian White in the amateurs. I saw some of this in the build-up to the AJ Dillian White 2 fight, before obviously Dillian tested positive for steroids and the fight was cancelled. But AJ did fight Dillian relatively early on in his amateur career, getting dropped by Dillian and losing the fight in a convincing manner. AJ allegedly talked a lot of shit before this fight, and it was probably a humiliating loss for him at the time. It must be pointed out though that Dillian was vastly more experienced at the time and allegedly had multiple pro kickboxing fights before him and AJ clashed. AJ also did go on to avenge this loss by knocking out Dillian in the pros a few years later. At number 6 is the very famous incident of AJ having a mental breakdown after his loss to Usyk. After he loses to Usyk, he begins to unravel very quickly. He begins to leave the arena initially, but then is seen almost imploding, throwing a bit of a temper tantrum and coming back into the ring. He grabs the mic and does a whole bunch of bizarre stuff. There's a bit in there where he tries to cause a fight with Lomachenko and some of the other team members, and then he delivers that outlandish speech that a lot of people saw all over social media at the time. This, I think, gives us an insight into his fragile ego and mind. At the time, I don't think he could deal with the loss, and he was just forced to implode. He also at some points takes the belts from Usyk and throws them off the ring, which I think might have been the most disrespectful thing he did throughout this whole incident. Something that not many people know is that AJ is actually friends with Andrew Tate. AJ and the viral internet personality and former kickboxer struck up an unlikely friendship when they met in Dubai. There's not too much public information about the relationship, probably because AJ wants to keep it under wraps as he tries to avoid any controversial acts in public, but perhaps in the future we might see more public interactions between them and maybe even an appearance of Tate in one of his fights. Who knows? At number 8, we're looking at some of the coaching drama that AJ has had over the past few years. He was initially trained by Robert McCracken, who took him from the amateurs on the GB squad all the way up until his loss at the hands of Usyk. He then decided he needed greater assistance and decided to employ coach Robert Garcia for his rematch against Usyk. There were many rumors at the time of the two not getting along very well during training camp, and after AJ lost the rematch and Robert was a little critical of the performance in a few interviews, AJ cut ties with him and decided to go look for another coach. AJ eventually settled on Derek James, a trainer based out of Texas who coaches 2 world champions, Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence. And after switching, AJ has now publicly fired a few shots back at McCracken, claiming that he wasted his best years under him and implied that he wasn't really a good coach, or at least not the right coach for him at the time. However, most people are of the opinion that AJ was at his best under McCracken, and I personally think that AJ has looked worse after the switch to Derek James. Number 9 is a rather positive fact about AJ. In 2013, following his gold medal at the London Olympics, he received an MBE. Now, for those in America who don't know, this is an award given to British citizens for exemplary service to the country. And in 2019, he was awarded an OBE, which is actually one of the highest honors that can be bestowed upon a British citizen, falling second only to the Commander of the Order of the British Empire. The final point I'll cover is AJ's tendency to pay great attention to the media and public opinion of him. He's constantly appearing in interviews, apparently upset and frustrated with opinions floating around online about him. He has repeatedly asked critics to cut him some slack, and incidents like the one with the university students perfectly show how sensitive he is to criticism. He has shown particular distaste for the opinion that he is a bodybuilder and a big fan of lifting weights. Many times he has stated he does not lift any weights as part of his training, despite evidence showing the contrary. Even in the cringy post-fight Usyk speech, he addresses these critiques, saying that he can't emulate older, more nimble heavyweights because he's so heavy, and basically just giving excuses and trying to explain away his poor strategy at the time. So if you want to truly piss AJ off, call him a bodybuilder. Preferably in person from a distance, but social media will work too. Despite my critical opinion of AJ and his behavior recently, I still believe him to be one of the best heavyweights of this generation and a great fighter and athlete. I do think his time as one of the top dogs in the division is finished now, but you can definitely say that he's had a very successful career. Make sure that you subscribe for more top 10s on other fighters like Tyson Fury, coming soon. Thanks for watching and see you again next time.